let's talk about it. It won't be before you long, but Ebony S.K. Williams, who I have, you know, respected her commentary for the most part, because she's a lawyer and she knows the legal team and she's worked at Fox News, so she has insight that most of the people who she's surrounding in Black America are too damn emotional and they overreact to everything and just all in their feelings, and they sound like idiots a lot of times. Like the Joe Budden podcast when they were just talking. I might do a video about that. Maul and him were going at it about some stuff politically, and I just hate when N-word podcasts talk about politics because they just don't know what the fuck they're talking about. But anyways, and she worked for Joe too, or worked with Joe on that episode too. But anyways, reading the comment from somebody who responds to something I wrote on one of O'Shea's videos on YouTube. But anyways, Ebony was on the Breakfast Club and she was talking the usual stint. I respected her when she came on the first time, like in 2018, because she wasn't doing the bright skinned girl Angela Rye bullshit, just bipartisan nonsense and just hashtag anything but Trump, right? She was actually had some nuance, and her mother voted for Trump, and like she worked at Fox News, so she had, and she's a lawyer, so she would not address certain things with emotion, but she would actually say, oh, this is what you gotta do legally. And I see that her video went viral now, where she said 2 years ago, and I've been sharing it for 2 years, saying like, yeah, this is what you gotta do if you want to address the police situation. Sean Hannity just read, like, he broke down what legally police can do in Atlanta to shoot you. So that dude in Atlanta who got shot, the dude that was drunk, yeah, according to their bylaws, he didn't do anything illegal by their bylaws. Like, now, it's to be determined if a taser that has already been shot would qualify as a weapon like that to use deadly force for. But as is written, it doesn't seem like he broke their rules. He was entitled to, by Georgia law, to use deadly force. But anyways, the words and the phrases that were used were also mimicked in what Ebony said a few years ago about, like, yo, we got to change the presumption of what a threat is for a police officer. If they feel some type of way, they can say, oop, I fear for my life type of shit. And it's hard to prove against that in court. But she broke that down, how you get to change that. And 3 years later, she's still saying the same thing, and nobody really paid attention. And a lot of people probably, ran it off when she did say it the first time. But I clipped it like, yo, this is a logical, actual, rational response to what's going on. All the marching and praying and hopping in the streets and burning shit down in your community, the community is not going to fix it. This is what you have to do as far as the legal system goes. But anyways, one thing she said in this current video, because she was tap dancing for the Democratic Party, even though she claims to be an independent, she's just like, yo, we got to go out. Because she was pushing back against her boss, because Diddy said it. I don't know why she blamed Charlamagne, but Diddy was the one who said it, who's her boss at Revolt, and her boss at this new job she's got as a news anchor for Revolt TV. But he's the one that said, I'm going to hold the voter hostage or whatever, not Charlamagne. Charlamagne just made the argument that I want to negotiate for some terms and some agreements, I want some, as Charlamagne can tell, he just learned the word. He want an ROI, return on his investment for the black folks voting 90% for the Democratic Party without usually getting shit in return for it. But he was done with that. Now, the confusing part about that is, one, you already said, like, Andrew Schultz asked Charlamagne, if Trump came with this policy, this, and that, would you vote for him? That man tap dance will not answer, I'm not, blah, blah, blah. Right? So you don't really even have it. Like, we can't even negotiate in theory. Like, we can't even say in theory if Trump did X, Y, Z, that benefits the black community. I hate, and Killer Mike said this dumb shit too on the View years ago, that black folks would sacrifice their rights if we got ours, but other folks didn't get theirs, we would sacrifice. Like, fuck that. No, nah, I want mine. I'm not sacrificing anything that benefits for me for any other group, because they don't do that shit for you. That's just real facts. No friends, no enemies, just interests. Logical, rational. I'm gonna do a video about that too with Bob Johnson, and he's breaking down all this shit that I've heard before. But Charlamagne dumbass is like, well, but the white people won't like us still. I'm like, yo, come on, man. Out of all the stuff that Bob Johnson was dropping, and your response was, but the white people still won't like us. Anyways, I didn't like what Ebony said about Michelle Obama. She said that shit like cool too, like Michelle was angry with us, y'all. She was Michelle's doing her book tour and she's shitting on black voters because, they didn't show up in the numbers that she thought they should. And there's these bullshit stats about, this many people didn't vote for this people. And then you look at the numbers and demographics on a lot of these cities. It ain't even that many black people that live in the city. Like, some of the numbers are the total population of the people, period. And they saying this is how many black people didn't vote in this state. This is people didn't black in that state. One, the assumption that that's how arrogant the Democratic, I know we hate the whole term Democratic plantation. I get it. I understand how that's insulting and demeaning and disrespectful, but I can't name it no other way when every single person who uses that meme about this many people didn't vote, they just assume that you're going to vote for Democrats regardless. Joe Biden, you ain't black. That's, and I wasn't tripping over him saying that because, quite frankly, a lot of black people do feel that way. A lot of white liberals do look at you that way. That's standard stuff. I'm not surprised by that. I was more upset that there were so many blue checks on Twitter defending that bullshit, though. They didn't even use it and monopolize it to use it as political capital to use it against each other to get what they want. They's like, nah, we agree. Damn. Like Malcolm X said, we political immature, we political chumps, we idiots when it comes to politics. But basically, Ebony was kind of pushing back against using the leverage we got. Real talk, this is no time than ever before not to be saying, forget it, let's get rid of Trump. But it's the time to say, yo, we got some political power right now. We got some political capital right now. And we can utilize that to get some stuff that we want. But it's hard to do that when you got people like Charlamagne or others who saying, nah, I'm not voting for Trump. So you better be clear, you ain't going nowhere. You're not going to go vote for him. Biden was so confident and said on black radio, he said on black radio, how many markets that the Breakfast Club is in, he had no problem saying you Negroes ain't black unless you vote for me. Same motherfucker that said they're gonna put y'all back in change in reference to Mitt Romney. But this is the motherfucker that wrote the 94 crime bill. The irony with that. But Ebony gonna say that Michelle was upset with us because Michelle's over here doing her book tour, living lavish lives, strolling, getting book deals, TV deals. Her husband out here getting millions of dollars for doing speeches for the same bankers that damn near bankrupt the country, the same bankers that took advantage of dumbass black people, took these subprime mortgage loans, and black wealth been cut in half, and he didn't do anything to address that in 8 years in his policy. But for some reason, Ebony felt to say Michelle was mad at us because we didn't come out and vote with the numbers she thought we were supposed to vote in. Your husband had 8 years in office, and he watched black wealth go in half, and he didn't do shit to address it. Ebony's a very intelligent woman. And I don't understand how she can't frame her words to say maybe the reason why black folks didn't show up in the numbers that Michelle thought that niggas should was because it was a direct referendum on your failures of your husband in 8 years in the White House. Come on, Ebony. I'm going to leave a link to the video about Obama too and what he did for black people. Go look at it. I'm trying to make it on YouTube, but I think it's one clip that won't let me get it past. But I need to put that on video on YouTube. It's old now. I could update it. I could do an hour-long video with a whole bunch of different people doing the same thing. But it's actual black people, right? Because the argument is that black folks didn't ask for nothing. That's not entirely true. A lot of folks were punks and pussies who didn't say nothing about Obama until he was gone. But a lot of smart black folks on the left were very critical of Obama for the things he did not do and did not address. And they were telling him to do these things. Michelle Alexander with Jim Crow, Julian Malveaux, feminist, lesbian ass when it comes to the economy. Byron Allen called Obama a black man in white face or some shit like that. Everybody's talking about thug is a code word for, black people. But Obama called the Baltimore rioters thugs. And then when he got called on it, he doubled down and said, I said what I said. Right? Okay, whatever. But anyways, I usually, I don't agree with Ebony politically. But I've always respected her being rational, logical, and using her talents as a lawyer to speak the truth and speak to with the level of logic that most black people don't do when it comes to political conversations. And I think that she just lost that in this last whole interview in the Breakfast Club. When you got her, like Charlamagne and them are pushing back against her, and she's toting the company line like, nah, y'all, this ain't time to use your little political capital you got now to negotiate. Yeah, let's get a black woman VP. We over here talking about getting a symbolic, pointless position as a vice president and making her black. Yeah, y'all love imagery over implementation. Y'all love symbolism over substance. We get it. But they trying to get Elizabeth Warren to be what? Like the head over the money or some shit like that? Like to dictate some real power? Like she actually has a budget? Like you want a position that has no budget? Black people issue is money and wealth and resources, right? All on YouTube, we all engage in this internalized racism, calling each other black people broken dusties and all this other dumb shit. We need bread. We don't need a fucking symbolic position as a vice president. Like that's over. You had 8 years of a half black president. That was your symbolism. Michelle Obama and them 75% black kids was your substance, symbolism, and your imagery. Now it's time for substance and implementation. I just don't get it. I'm not even a Democrat or a liberal, but it's still sad to see that Eboni is participating in the company line. I don't know what happened, what changed, but she used to be more fair and balanced in her arguments than all that nonsense she was saying. And for somebody that's, I've never seen an independent go so damn hard for a Democratic Party. Nonetheless, Joe Biden, who mind is fucking shot. Like his mind is not even all there. So this is the time Eboni takes the shackles off and she goes full steam ahead and says, you know, like Angela Rye played this game where she wasn't picking nobody until the end, until the nominee came. Like she tried to play like she was neutral. Well, Ebony's doing the same thing now. Like, no, we gotta vote for Joe. I'm like, really? Like this is who you choose to cape for? This is who you choose to come out to win for? Like, really? Like Joe Biden, who mind is shot? Like that's your king? Come on, Eb. I thought I thought you were better than that. I had a lot more respect for you when it comes to political commentary than that. So who knows what's gonna happen when they get back on State of the Culture? Because I thought she was the voice of reason when it comes to political commentary. Sigh. Man, sucks to be you, Eb.